Hi all, it's Mon. It's time for your daily reading and yes or no question answer for water signs. I am doing these a little bit differently. Instead of trying to upload one huge ginormous file, I'm breaking it into the elements. So this is for water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's late, my brain's a little tired. So before we get started, we're going to use our singing bowl to do a little bit of a meditation. Right, now please remember that energy is very fluid, so whatever I'm picking up today may be very different than how it is received tomorrow. So take these messages if they resonate, and if they don't, they were either not meant for you at this time. They might be meant for you later, as these readings are timeless, but I do put a date on them so you can kind of keep track of which ones you've looked at. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start with our Cancer friends, and I've got your timestamp. So let's go ahead and ask our angels, guides, spirits of the highest love, light, and divinity, what messages we have for Cancer. Ooh, don't want that one. Okay, so we get Death, Six of Swords in the reverse, and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like you've got some big changes that are coming through here, but I feel like you're having trouble accepting those changes. Like, you know, with the Six of Swords, you know, instead of getting through the, you know, the change and heading towards that smooth sailing, I kind of feel like you're shell-shocked, right? And with the Knight of Swords in the reverse, I almost feel like you're being impatient with yourself, saying, okay, I should be over this by now. I should be over this change. I should be over this transformation. And I'm feeling like, even though the Death card is in the upright, I feel like the transformation is not complete. Okay, so it could be you're in the process of transformation, but at the same time, you know, that incomplete transformation is clarified with that Six of Swords and Knight of Swords energy of not being settled. Okay, so I feel like you're in the midst of it. So to clarify Death, we get the Five of Pentacles. So you're feeling just very low spiritually, like almost that dark night of the soul. You're going through this rebirth and you're questioning, you know, is it depression or is it really an awakening? Because a lot of people, you know, I think the misconception is spiritual awakening is this like, yay, I'm bright, shiny, and new. Not really, because it's like having to hit the ground hard and crawling and finally walking back up. And it's not the easiest thing to go through. So it is very easy to feel very disconnected during a spiritual awakening. Okay, so with the Six of Swords in reverse, that is clarified by the Four of Swords. Okay, now you're exhausted. You're exhausted, and the Four of Swords begs of you to rest. Okay, so as you're going through this process, I'm thinking of what's called spiritual sickness, and maybe you're going through this. So it mimics a flu sometimes, like you're achy and you're tired. So what you want to do is make sure that you're drinking enough water, that you're getting enough rest, because it takes a toll on you. Okay, I've heard some people call it the spiritual flu as well. Okay, but on the bright side, the awakening is taking place. Okay, and it's not the easiest thing to go to. Some of the famous saints have written in their autobiographies about this dark night of the soul, and that's why these books are so prolific, because everybody goes through this, and it's misunderstood, because sometimes you have to hit rock bottom in order to rise, like that phoenix out of the ashes. Okay, so let's clarify the Knight of Swords. So we get the Five of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like you're going to find peace after this. Okay, so I don't see a timeline for this struggle, but you want to make sure that you don't see this darkness as a punishment, because it's not. It's like that trial by fire. You've got to go through that pain and that suffering to really come through on the other side with that appreciation of not only what you've been through, but all the beautiful and wonderful things to look forward to, because if you don't go through that darkness, it is so hard to appreciate the light. Okay, so I feel like that's what you're going through, but with the Five of Swords in reverse, you're going to be at peace, and it's going to be such a wonderful feeling when you've made it through that process. Okay, so my Cancer friends, if you will think of a yes or no question, I will answer that for you. You might want to pause to think of your question. Doesn't have to do with the reading. Okay, so what is Cancer's answer? All right, we get simply stated no. So this is a no. Number 15 could be a date of birth, could be a time frame. If you add 1 and 5, that's 6. 6 could be 6 weeks, 6 months, the month of June. Okay, so let's move on to Scorpio. So we've got 741. All right, so angels, guides, spirits of the highest light and love and divinity, what do we need to know for our Scorpio friends? All right, we get 7 of Cups, 2 of Cups in reverse, and the Hermit. So I'm feeling that you're in a situation, and it could be a relationship situation. You have a lot of options available. And you could be someone single, and there might be someone that you have your eye on, one of your options, and you've been rejected. So there's a couple of ways of looking at this, okay? The first thing sounds very hokey when I say it, but rejection is protection, okay? Anytime that we are not given something that we want, there's a reason why, okay? With the Hermit card, I'm hearing that you need to look within and really think about a couple of things. One, why the rejection? Let's say this person is into the materialistic and the outer things, like you've got to look a certain way and you've got to drive a certain car. Maybe that's not you. So you look inwards and say, okay, are those things that I value? And if not, this rejection is valid. I am not aligned to this person. Okay. And the other thing you need to think about too is, what it is that you are looking for in a partner. And what you have to do is you have to exude that energy. So if you want a partner that's very secure in themselves, you have to be secure. If you want a partner that loves music and is creative, you got to start looking at your creative side. All right, so you will attract what you are emitting. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify. So Seven of Cups is clarified by the Page of Swords. So I have a feeling that, you know, you're not going to take this laying down. That Page of Swords is like, I want to know more about this. So this may instigate, you know, a reason for you to start really looking into the psychology of dating and maybe what attachment theory is and whatnot. So this may be one of those things that kind of piques your interest, not just because it didn't work out, but, you know, what really makes people happy in a relationship, and what are things that, you know, people in healthy relationships do. So I think it's going to be maybe a jumping point for you to really study that and just, you know, have fun with the dating to, you know, either prove or disprove some of the ideas that you're learning. Okay, so let's clarify Two of Cups. All right, so Eight of Wands is about communication. So I feel like that once you are, it's communication or speed. So once you're bolstered by the fact that dating can be kind of an experiment in practice, you might be actually excited about just, you know, jumping into that pool again and just saying, let's just see how this works. Okay, and looking at it more from a mental and social type of activity rather than I've got to put my heart out there on a platter. Okay, and maybe that's part of the lesson, that, you know, it doesn't have to be this fully committed thing when you meet someone, that there's a process to it. Okay, so let's clarify. I'm going to take this. The Hermit is clarified by the Page of Cups. Okay, so I feel like the message is you are going to move from a place of innocence to a place of practicality and being able to see things as they really are in a way that is not jaded or cynical, but very open-minded as to, wow, this is why people act the way that they act, especially in dating situations. So this, I know this doesn't resonate for everyone, but I think it's kind of cool that, you know, this is a situation where, okay, love's not working, I've got options and I don't know how this thing works, but I want to figure it out because of the sword energy. I really feel like that you want to, you know, acknowledge that, you know, there are patterns and there are things that happen that make it work or not work. Okay, and it's a very positive energy. All right, so Scorpio, let's go ahead and get the answer to your yes or no question. You may want to pause the video to think about your question. All right, we get 13. This situation lacks potential. So 13 may represent a date. If you add it, it becomes a 4, so you can look at 4 in numerology. Okay, and now at 1333, we are on to Pisces. So what do we need to know for our Piscean friends? So angels, guides, spirits of the lightest love, light, and divinity. What is today's message for Pisces? Okay, we get the Ace of Pentacles, we get the Moon, and we get the King of Wands in the reverse. All right, so I feel like you are wanting to make an offer to a divine masculine energy. Feels like Sagittarius. Okay, but with the Moon, I feel like there are certain things about this person that they have kept very secret and very hidden, and I feel like you have to take that initiative to kind of really spark that conversation to figure out what is going on, because this King of Wands is, I kind of feel like there's just some negative energy surrounding this masculine energy. Okay, So let's get the Ace of Pentacles clarified with the Emperor. Wow, another strong divine masculine. So it could be that you are both in masculine energy, and masculine energy does not attract. Okay? So it's that situation where one of you has to step into the divine feminine to be receptive. All right? So if you are the Ace of Pentacles making an offer, it's hard to offer someone in the divine masculine. They have to be in the divine feminine for it to be reciprocal. So I almost feel like there's just a butting of heads or some type of differences that are keeping this from, you know, blossoming. And I do see it as this divine masculine that you're dealing with keeping something close and hidden. I don't necessarily see it as like a lie or a purposeful deception. Let's get some clarification. So that's clarified by the Knight of Cups. So I do feel like this person has feelings, and I feel like the feelings are mutual, that you both really love and respect each other. Ugh, my nose is itching. But I do feel like that this person may be a little bit closed off because they're afraid of receiving, because they are so strong in that masculine energy, almost as if they need to soften up a little bit. Let's get some clarification on this King of Wands. We get the Magician, okay, which is about manifestation. So I feel that, you know, this could be possibly a relationship that you are manifesting. Now, you cannot manifest a person, right? But I do feel like you can change and manifest that change of energy by demonstrating and acting in a divine feminine energy, like being that example of gentleness and generosity and being receptive and open. So if there is, I mean, I wouldn't say, just say, well, are you hiding a secret from me? But creating that comfortable, safe space for that masculine energy to be able to open up to the feminine. Now, with all of that said, it has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with energy, because we all contain masculine and feminine energy. Okay, but I'm picking you both up as very masculine right now. Okay, so again, so I think, you know, if this is something you are manifesting, you have to lead by example, and you can lead as a divine feminine of what that vulnerability and gentleness looks like. Okay, so Pisces, let's go ahead and do your yes no question. You may want to pause. All right, so what is Pisces' answer to their question? Okay, Pisces, we get number 22. For now, it's a maybe. Okay, 22 is a master number, so you may want to look up numerology, what that is. Okay, it could be an age, could be a date. 2 and 2 reduces to 4. 4 weeks, 4 months, the month of April. Okay, so I appreciate you all hanging out with me, and I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day or night when you're watching this. And remember, be happy, be well, be blessed. Mwah.